Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible. This week, it's an episode to disturb the lunar-loving lycanthropes. Wonka Willie Wade worries about widths of warholes, but wants to grind on stars. Bethesda Bob bashes Breaking Bad and boycotts Barista Bastards. Multifaceted Mark melts down when Mr. McCarthy multiply moons him. From Canadian vomiter version A to Pavlovian provoked pure rage. Yes, it's time for Mark Hates the Moon. Now sit back and prepare to be distracted and enjoy the show.
Welcome to Distractible. Make fun of Wade. He got some foam up on his walls. Look at him.
Our poster.
I got foam. I got posters on my walls.
But Bob's TV doesn't have anything on it.
Hey, leave me out of it. I'm the nice one.
Yeah, Bob gets points. Both for...
Mark's headband is still plain. Get him.
What's wrong? What?
Plus, I'm sick, so I don't feel good, so you have to be nice to me.
Oh, that's so many points for you,
Okay,
Bob.
I'm bald. I don't feel good.
You use that. You don't get points for that.
You've been sick before.
I think he put foam on the top half of his camera wall so that it would look like he has hair. You see how it's like dark up here?
What do you mean, boys? This is my hair.
But seriously, you got a poster. Just to be clear, you waited all that. One of those already existed. One of those has existed.
I got 7 posters. It cost me like $1,050 to get them all framed.
Well, good thing they're all in the shot.
I just wanted them. Some of them were from In Space. Some of them were from Heist.
No, well, I get that. That's fine.
I wanted them framed and preserved, but I can't fit them all. There's also the black and white Distractible poster.
Well, that's very nice. I'm gonna give you points for finally getting stuff on your walls, but I'm not gonna give you full points because it's not fully done.
Wait, how many points do I get for my soundproofing? I have this blanket is hung up in a much more official way. I also put a seal on the door frame, an audio seal, and if you can see, there's a little bottom of the door seal as well. So I'm trying to keep my voice out of the rest of the house because I'm loud and I feel bad.
Points for honesty, not points for your shitty soundproofing, which is very, very sub-minimal.
Hey, because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it.
I've got more soundproofing than meets the eye. Just
Uh-huh.
Don't put up your green screen, I swear to God.
no, I have all these chunks of soundproofing that I had to cut.
You just toss them around all willy-nilly to help with the echo over there?
I had to cut it to fit it around. This is one panel that I had to cut a square.
Well, the lines are so perfectly clean, I can tell. You put a lot of effort into that.
I did my best. How do you cut perfectly with scissors?
That wasn't sarcastic. That's just how I sound. That's not how you do it. You cut it. Good job, Wade.
Thank you.
I was trying to be nice.
Well, I mean, if you look closely, the one on the right is dipping below the poster line quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
Not exactly even.
The far right corner of the Distractible, bottom right of the Distractible poster for us. It looks like the foam is overhanging the poster. It just makes it look...
That is not a fault of the hanging. That is because the ceiling very slightly curves. And whenever I put the panels up against the ceiling, I noticed that it was a very slight curve once you got about halfway through.
What kind of Willy Wonka room is he
Yeah,
in?
what is it?
Dude, the price I paid for this room, the rage I felt when I saw it was like 2 inches lower on the left than the right with the price this cost.
Did you look at the framing? That's a little concerning.
I didn't notice anything until I put the foam up.
Drywall can curve a little, but that's didn't make it quite right type territory, potentially.
Until I put the foam up, I had no idea there was anything wrong.
Okay. Well,
it's a all white room. Everything just looks...
When you close the door, do all the walls kind of shudder around you like it's a set? Like it's held up by a couple one-bys on the outside?
It's very sturdy. But I also had to use... Oh god, what the fuck are these things called? Command strip. I had to use command strips to hang the posters because I was going to put a nail through the wall, but everywhere that I wanted to hang the poster, the little electric warning came onto the stud finder, and I was like, well, can't put a nail there. So my posters would have been sideways and off camera and all over the place for the electric.
What kind of long ass nails are you putting? Those aren't heavy. Are they heavy? Those heavy posters?
This one's heavier than it looks. The other one's pretty light.
Because you put The nail doesn't even really need to go through the drywall.
Listen, last time I tried to put a nail through a wall, it went all the way through and I had like a hole this big. And I was already nervous about doing it. And I was like, well, I better make sure there's nothing else.
Wait, how big was the hole? How big was the hole? It's a hammerhead-sized hole.
I held the nail up and I was like, and the hammer went right into it.
No.
Then why was the hole that big? That's quite a hole. That's a big nail.
It was just a really weak wall.
No, you're just really strong. That's how you gotta look at it. I'm gonna give you a point for being so strong.
Big man doesn't know his own strength.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. So I was already nervous about putting a hole in there. And then when I saw the electrical thing going off, I was like, well, I don't really want to die for this. So I'll just use the command strips. But at first I tried to just command strip the poster. The problem is there's like a lot of gaps in the frame. So like the command strip is only touching 2 little parts. So I hung it up and immediately it collapsed and damaged the frame, which thankfully doesn't show up on camera. But I was pretty upset about that. So I had to buy these, and these have been holding pretty well so far.
This is like one of Mark's hard drive array sagas, except Mark's thing is so technologically advanced, I don't even understand what the problem was, but this is just Wade taking a month and a half to hang some very lightweight foam and posters on a wall. You didn't have the posters in your possession until last week.
Yeah.
The foam does not have any sort of excuse like that, I gotta be honest.
I had to cut around the posters.
Oh no, cutting foam that cuts with literally anything.
That must have taken you like 15 minutes. Ooh.
It takes a lot longer than that to do this. It takes surprisingly long.
You know what's funny is you're talking to 2 guys that have done this and know how long it takes to put foam up.
Yeah, no, I've done exactly the stuff you're talking about many times now.
The stupid foam vacuum seal doesn't rise on its own, so I have to hand wash and dry each panel. It will.
Wow.
I can go get foam that's been sitting out there for like 2 weeks and show you it's.
I believe you, but that's just that's how that works. That's how all that foam that I bought also was. And
It never dries.
You gotta put a fan on it, or
I do fan and.
You could have bought
know why I said that.
non-wash foam.
I do fan it.
I don't know why that came out like that.
Okay,
All
look,
right.
we're not here exclusively to shit on Wade, are we? Is that the episode
Yeah, what
idea?
about
or-
your TV? Where's your TV poster?
No, that's not it. That's not it. Anyway, Bob's TV isn't working. He's not going to get points. The TV points go to nobody. No one showed up with the TV today. We're going to go through a few world events that are occurring because apparently the world is exploding all around us, and that's cool. But I want to talk about some entitled people while the world may be exploding. I saw some of these entitled
Idiots.
sons of bitches here.
All right.
2 passengers were kicked off an Air Canada flight because they refused to sit in seats covered in puke. Now, this is the problem with society today.
What is wrong with people?
If you can't take a little puke to get to your destination, I don't know what you're never gonna make it through life, you know?
Don't you want to butt chug some puke on your flight? It's free.
Look, if we just overlook for a moment the fact that I'm pretty sure sitting in vomit is good for your skin, probably. They didn't pay to have clean seats. That's a whole different thing. They bought 2 tickets for 2 seats, and they showed up and there were seats for them, and they just weren't good enough. And that's just the world we live in now.
I don't want to call out specific airlines, but there are airlines that I've flown on that have made claims like, they're like, well, you didn't pay for this amenity, so why would you have it? And it's like, I didn't know that was a paid amenity. I thought that was just part of the flight. Clean seats, as weird as it's, I could see that actually being a thing.
Well, it's funny because when the people got on, they noticed that there was a strange smell but didn't know where to go. And then when they complained about it, security boarded the plane and then escorted the 2 people, the unruly passengers, off the plane because they were complaining about the puke on the seat. And, you know, justice deserves served.
Wait. Were these passengers Americans or Canadians?
I'm going to guess Canada.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Is that different than just Canadian, or is that just a special way to say that?
I believe it's a French pronunciation.
I don't know why I had this image of, like, you know, the Canadians are really nice stereotype. There's just 2 Americans and they got to their seat and they're like, hey, these seats are dirty. Hey, I'm not sitting in these seats. This sucks. These seats are dirty. And the Canadians were like, whoa, calm down, eh? Whoa, that's okay. Whoa, sorry, eh? And the American weren't like belligerent or anything, but they were just like, no, I want a different seat. Come on, this is bad customer service. And the Canadians were like, okay, I'm uncomfortable. I'm gonna get security, eh? And then the Mounties come on and they're like, oh, you need to calm down, sir. Oh, look out. I'm gonna need to ask you to leave. I'm sorry to be rude, eh?
I haven't experienced much of Canadian Bob, but I'm gonna give 5 points for Canadian Bob.
Oh, thanks for the points, eh?
Don't push it. Listen, Air Canada did everything they could. They placed coffee grinds in the seat pouch. They sprayed perfume on it.
That doesn't. Hey, Canada, you guys clean stuff? You familiar with like soap or?
That is a real quote. That's actually what they did. They placed coffee grinds in the seat pouch and sprayed perfume to mask the smell.
Do you have a picture or anything? So was it like the seat was coated in dripping, like someone threw up and it was just there, or like it was clean but it also just still reeked like vomit? Like how?
I think it was wiped, and that's about it, I imagine. Anyway, those bastards.
Entitled travelers, man. Canadians are the nicest people on earth. There's no way they were in the wrong. I'm just going to say it.
Right. I'm going to actually save my segue of speaking of bastards and insert another fun little snippet story that I saw here. Buyers of Bored Ape NFTs sue after digital apes turn out to be a bad investment.
There was a lot to unpack there.
No, there's not. It's funny. It's just funny. Don't worry about it, Wade. No, do you know the Bored Ape NFTs? Have you seen those, Wade? All the pictures of hipster-looking ape character type things, and people made them.
Bored, like B-O-R-E-D?
Like, yeah, like, oh, this is boring. I'm bored. I'm a bored ape. That's how it's spelled, right, Mark? Bored ape?
Never seen it. I'm looking at it right now. Never seen this.
Or is it like wooden boards ape? Maybe I'm misinformed.
No, it's bored. Like I'm bored.
Anyway, they were NFTs. How are you going to sue someone you bought an NFT from for selling you something useless? You bought an NFT.
Well, it's hard to say because it's a lawsuit that's compounding the court case that is going through because the founder of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried.
SBF? Oh, yeah.
SBF. Yeah, he's awaiting trial on criminal charges because apparently there was a lot of fraud going on in the crypto world, which I don't know how that happened because that was supposed to fix all that.
The market was supposed to regulate itself, I thought, or something.
There's no one more honest than people making money out of thin air.
This kid who used the internet and went from having no millions of dollars to billions of dollars without seemingly doing very much of anything other than some computer coding. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's obvious how he made the money.
Check your privilege. It's called the free market. You make money on the market for free. What's confusing about that?
No, it makes sense. So I jumped in without actually knowing anything other than that it's happening. Are you saying the Bored Ape thing is tied to Sam Bankman-Fried somehow? I didn't know if he was involved with that or not. Or are you just saying there's a lot of like crypto NFT lawsuits that are happening?
So the lawsuit is that Yuga, whoever that is, I think that's the creator, Yuga Labs, colluded with
Sotheby's?
Which is the defendant and a fine arts broker. So Sotheby's.
That's the place where like they sell Banksies and stuff. Sotheby's is like an auction house, right? So they sell $1 million art pieces and things.
Which is, this is so alarming because everyone knows that the fine arts world is a totally legitimate non-money laundering system.
Yeah, unlike crypto, art clearly has value you could measure and see. It's quantifiable.
All right, that statement Now I don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, I'm just saying, people have been buying art for outrageous prices for forever. The art's always been cool. NFTs and crypto, that's a scam, though. Totally unrelated.
Yeah, definitely. Either way, to everyone's shock, Bored Apes went from, I think a peak of $420,000 in April of 2022 to $90,000 6 weeks later after April 2022.
Ooh.
And then have thus plummeted even farther exponentially down. And I think the current value for many of these is, there's a zero in the number.
Are there any other numbers? as many zeros as you want, baby.
Yeah. If you get more zeros.
There's like 90 zeros in that number. It's zero.
Yeah. So, that's about like, That's precipitous, I think, is what the fall of that could be, and no one could have seen it coming. No one.
Nobody was out here looking at NFTs in general and the Bored Ape thing and thinking, man, those aren't going to hold value. No one could have predicted that.
Is this a bad time to announce our Distractible NFT line?
You could buy an NFT of every episode of Distractible for several $1 million, and it's definitely worth that much, and it will only appreciate in value, probably.
Absinthe.
The whole NFT thing, it always struck me as weird. I know people got really hyped about it. I really hope out of all of that, one of the major thing that happens is all the artists who like packaged some of their digital work or previous stuff or whatever and sold NFTs. I hope they made a bag. I hope that they tricked some tech billionaire idiot with money to burn to giving them $1 million for what was essentially a PDF file of all their previous artwork or something. That makes me feel better about it a little bit. I hope they didn't scam or defraud anyone, but, good for the artists.
Well, yeah, that did happen, and then the scamming also did happen because people would just scrape other people's art and be like, sell it as an NFT.
Yeah, well, the scamming, that probably is worse than the good part. So I was just trying to silver lining this, Mark. I was trying to find...
Yeah, but it's also not like they robbed the artist directly. It's just like indirectly, and likely the artist wasn't going to make an NFT anyway, but it's not good. It's still thievery, but it's a whole messy world, and I'm glad that's all behind us and will never rear its ugly head ever again.
It's never gonna come back. Everyone learned their lesson. I'm certain of it this time.
Yes.
And on the bright side, I've been really enjoying Starfield.
That's great. Do you think this is small talk time? No,
it's related.
Do you guys have any small talk?
I like Starfield, and apparently a lot of people are unhappy, but I'm very happy. I've been enjoying it a lot.
Why are they unhappy?
They had different expectations. I didn't watch trailers. I didn't watch all the hype videos. I didn't get on board the hype train. I just heard it was a cool space game by Bethesda. I was like, oh, cool. I like Skyrim. I like Fallout. Bethesda space game, that'd be cool. And it came out and I was like, ooh, there's aspects of No Man's Sky that are cool. And there's some things that are like a little, there's some emptiness in planets and whatnot. But overall, I got what I expected from it and a little bit more, and therefore I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Bethesda's fault or if it's the fandom's fault, but this game had a lot of hype building up to the release of it's going to be the game of our generation. It's the new Skyrim. It's going to be everything. That's pretty unreachable as an expectation to set. Even if it is, I don't think it's a perfect game by a lot of measures, but I think it's a solid game. It's pretty good. But even if it was amazing, no one is going to think that this immediately replaces Skyrim or something like that. There's a reason there's 38 editions of Skyrim, and every time a new console comes out, there's a new edition of Skyrim for you to buy. It's because everyone buys it because it's become it's a thing. It's like a standard bearer of RPGs and modding and all that stuff. But
it's the most I've gotten into a game in a few years.
I also enjoyed Starfield so far. It seems fun. Doesn't seem outrageously good, but it seems like a Bethesda game. Has some of the Bethesda things.
I've been doing 8 to 10 hour streams of it when I've been able to find the time, and I don't have time for that. I've been making it because I'm just enjoying it so much.
Jesus, fucking 10-hour stream. Oh my God.
I know.
I can't imagine doing anything for 10 hours in a row ever for the rest of my life now that we have a kid. I can't.
I typically don't. Every now and then. Once in a blue moon, there'll be a game or something. I got GTRP I got into like that. I think Days Gone I got into like that. And Starfield, it's even after I end a stream at midnight to 2 a.m., I'm like, oh, God, I want to keep going, but I guess I should probably sleep. Then I'll end a stream and my body is just so done with me that I just crawl up to bed and pass out instantly, which is something I also don't do. I usually struggle a little bit falling asleep, but I've been so exhausted. It's been great and terrible.
It sounds fun when you say it like that.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds so fun.
It is while I'm playing.
Yeah, but even the after part is oh hell yeah. But I haven't played a game like that since Elden Ring, I think. Yeah. And before that, it was an even longer gap.
Yeah, before Elden Ring, what, Hades for you? You got into? I don't even know if it was like that.
Hades, I played a lot, but I didn't play nearly as much as that. It would have been Frostpunk when I found that. I was all about Frostpunk. Yeah. Love me some Frostpunk. But yeah, that's about it.
I've gotten really into Starfield. Every time I level up, I'm like, dude, I need 10 more level up points, please. I'm starving over here. And I don't know, I need to grind so much stuff. And it's yes, I want to grind this.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. Oh, man, this guy. What a bastard, am I right?
Oh, yeah, you tell him.
I'm bringing it back around. You remember my segue? I kind of put a stopper on. Now I'm pulling the cork out and I'm coming right back to it. Popping it in the microwave. Reheating it, baby. Anyway, so I don't really know what the name of this episode is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be an analysis of why I'm a bastard or why this guy is just completely deserves all of my ire. But this started, this saga of hatred and vitriol started maybe like 3-4 years ago, okay? So 3-4 years ago, I was browsing Reddit. And, I do that on occasion. I go on reddit.com and I'll scroll through and I'll look at the popular posts.
Not .gov? That's a different Reddit. Okay, I'm with you.
I'll scroll through the posts and I'll be looking at things. And I think way back when I came across this picture. It was a picture of the moon. Beautiful. It's a good picture. I went, that's a good picture. I like that picture. I didn't upvote or anything because I don't do that.
You monster. Like, comment, and subscribe.
I forget about it. I forget about it, And then a week later, I come back onto reddit.com and I'm scrolling through again. And I look through and bam, there's another picture of a moon. Looks a lot like the last picture, but I still go like, that's a cool moon. Great moon. Good moon. Good moon. Good moon. Anyway, I scroll past it and I forget it. Next week rolls around. Another moon.
What website?
Reddit.com.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah.
This moon, slightly different, a little more orange to it. And then the title is just like, this is my highest, most detailed picture of the moon ever, combined with like 400,000 pictures that I took in my backyard with my longest title ever. And I got tired by the end of it. I was reading it, but I went like, okay, all right, interesting moon, great moon, I guess. Moving on. Next week, I'm back again. Reddit.com. Another moon. It's another moon. And by now I start to realize that like, is this a repost? People repost stuff on Reddit all the time. And I look and I'm like, no, this is a slightly different moon. This has clouds in front of it. This has a cloud in front of it. It's like, oh yeah, good moon. Next week rolls around. Reddit.com. Another moon.
Is the moon the bastard of the story, or okay?
No. Next week, another moon. Next week, another moon. Next week, another moon. Another moon. It's the same moon. I look up in the sky. It's the same moon. I look at that picture. Look at the sky. I go out of my house. I go, moon. It's moon.
Okay.
And I keep looking. And I look every week after week, and this guy keeps posting about these fucking moons. And I look at the username. And the username, and I don't want anyone attacking because this is why I think that people are going to think that I'm a crazy person, because how could I hate the picture of the moon? I love space. That's what I do. I love the space guy, right?
It's a Markiplier hallmark. It's true.
No, I look at this username and it's A. James McCarthy. A. James McCarthy, and I remember that name. I remember that name.
I'm struggling so far to see what this guy has done wrong.
No, I'm with you, Mark.
You don't understand. You don't understand. I swear to God, I for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, I was tormented by this guy's pictures of the moon, of how many megapixels, how many pictures he took to make the moon, and how many moons he mooned to moon that moon. The sharpest image I've captured of the moon's surface from my backyard. My clearest image of the lunar surface featuring Tycho and Clavius. I applied height data provided by NASA to an image I took of the moon to show off how the surface looks in exaggerated relief. I applied NASA elevation data to one of my moon pics to exaggerate it. Tonight's Venus moon conjunction setting behind my house. Last night I captured an HDR shot of the Venus conjunction at 81 megapixels. This required using multiple cameras and telescopes to properly capture what my eyes were seeing. This unedited shot of Venus and the moon from 2 nights ago during sunset, taken from my backyard using a DSLR. That was a 1 week of posts.
Okay, you need to go back though. August 30th, we had a supermoon. I cannot wait to see what images he posted of that.
I am on his...
Yeah?
I'm on his Reddit account going back, and thankfully, nope, 9 days ago, I got a nice shot of Jupiter and Io right when the spot was facing us the other night. There are 4 moons easily visible through the pair of binoculars.
Wait, Jupiter. Is this on reddit.com?
Yes, reddit.com.
AJ Michaels?
Wait, is this the guy? He has 53 karma? Is that him?
No.
Oh, okay.
A. James McCarthy.
AJ. Oh, got it.
Yeah, you got it, right?
I'm finding it.
All right, so here's the thing, right? I don't know if I'm the crazy one. I highly doubt it, and need I remind you, I'm the host.
Sure. Okay.
But there was something about it that just made me hate the moon so much, and this person for ruining the moon, and I don't know why. And this person, all they're doing is posting their passion. I know that. I get that. I understand that. I cannot stand whenever I see like a high resolution shot of the moon now, I get angry. And I don't know why I get angry. I get so angry. I just get angry. I can't stand this. He insists upon himself. He just
It insists upon it. Okay, Family Guy.
it just I don't know why this occurs. And I think what just made me so mad is for a while there, it really was just the moon. It was just a picture of the moon. And I get it. You're like an amateur photographer trying to make a living off of your passion, which is space photography. I get it. And some of them are really good pictures. Like, I understand that. They are good. But one's enough!
No, it's not.
One!
He took so many
was
different
enough.
pictures, Mark.
No!
This one is a 148 megapixel composite of the snow moon. The colors are enhanced to reveal the gorgeous patterns of minerals across the surface. This one is one of the most rewarding shots of his career, captured at the ISS in conjunction with the 53-mile wide Tycho crater on the moon. It's a zoomed-in shot where you can see ISS in front of the moon. They're all different. They're all unique little snowflakes, Mark.
He's improving his craft. Every one he's improved and gotten his best shot ever.
No, that's what threw me. Is every post that I saw was I just captured one of my most detailed shots ever of the surface of the moon, and it's like, great, that's good for you then. Great job, way to go.
I found the stretch that drove you insane. It ranges from 11 to 13 months ago. There's a stretch of just moons. Oh, I see.
Oh, you can go even further back probably for more moons. There's a lot of Jupiter and some Mars in here. There's Jesus and a whole bunch of sheep.
I just assembled a new telescope system in my backyard observatory 1 year ago. This image just took 45 minutes. So this guy tormented you, a guy, whoever, just by existing and posting hobbyist space photography
In a very avoidable place that you didn't have to go and look.
Yep.
where you literally were seeking it out, but not interacting with the post. So I'm unsure how you even continue to find it.
Because for a while there, they were upvoted to like the top of Reddit. So some of these posts that have like 70,000 upvotes, you know.
Oh yeah,
like,
I see. He's got 24,000 here. Okay, I got you.
Some of them, and I think that's what it was, is like the ones that always got up there were the pictures of the moon, like the really detailed with the halation, and like it was very clear and crisp, and it's just like...
Oh, did you see his side-by-side of the picture of the Pillars of Creation taken by James Webb, and then the picture of Pillars of Creation that he got with his $500 backyard telescope?
I don't want to see it.
Mark, I'll put it in chat so you can see it.
I don't want to see it.
Some of these posts come from other people's names. Like that's confusing me a bit. I don't know how Reddit works. Some are r/interesting as fuck. Some are r/telescopes. Are they all him just posting in that particular subreddit?
Yeah.
Guys, I linked to the really cool comparison picture.
The $500 versus 16 billion.
Yeah, see if you can tell which is which.
I don't know. Oh, man. I can't tell.
Oh, that's actually not James Webb. That's Hubble. You could tell because they have 4 facets on the stars instead of 6. Because James Webb is hexagonal.
He's got pictures of comets 2 years ago.
So you just hate this guy. That's where you are?
I don't hate this guy. I don't hate him.
You hate space.
I hate how he is.
So you're saying that if someone, just theoretically on the internet, had some kind of platform, like maybe a Reddit account or I don't know, like a YouTube channel, and they posted something that they made that they were really excited about just every day for years on end, like maybe twice a day even for stretches, that you would find that infuriating? That would enrage you just because this person was doing something they were so passionately devoted to, even though they weren't sure if it was going to be successful or come to anything. They just wanted to see what would happen if they made stuff. You're saying that would enrage you?
I guarantee I'm not alone in this one. I guarantee that I cannot be alone.
Yes, we live in the era of hating things for no reason. I would agree with you.
No, there's a reason. There's a reason.
Sure.
I don't know. This guy has a lot of upvotes, which is pretty difficult to achieve on Reddit.
So I think I know what this episode is about. It's like, I now understand where haters come from, where people just hate something for the sake of hating it, or it seems like that to an outside observer. But to me, it's never been more clear. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen the types of posts, if you'd have read those titles week after week at reddit.com, you would have lost your mind. I barely stayed sane.
Bob, if it's hit him, it's hitting us soon. The age of hating everything on the internet.
No, not everything.
We're coming.
Not everything.
No,
I liked the first picture of the moon. Don't get me. You understand? I liked the first few, actually.
Have you seen 2 years ago in r/space various looks of the moon I've captured over the years? My goal is to always show it in a way you've never seen before. He's got 9 pictures of the moon. I'll share it with you boys.
Oh my gosh, did they actually take this picture of the Christmas comet? Wow. Captured from their backyard last night as it set on the horizon. I'm trying to think if I have something like this. I'm sure that I must.
You've never been just a random hater of something obscure. And I want to say, I don't know why I think everyone's going to rush to my side and be like, yeah. Screw that moon guy.
Yeah, let's shit on people that have passions, that share their passion with the world in a non-obtrusive way.
Listen, I do this in a much more generic, stereotypical way. What comes to mind immediately. When Breaking Bad was on TV, when it was still coming out, like after the first couple seasons and everyone was like, wait, the show's amazing. People would not shut up about it. And for a long time, I was like, nah, I just don't care. It just sounds bad. Like, I like Bryan Cranston. It just sounds stupid. Mandy and I ended up watching Breaking Bad in I want to say 2014 or 2015. Pretty well after the series was concluded, I think. Great TV show. I hated it. For the longest time, I hated it. And now I'm absolutely one of those people who's like, oh, have you never seen Breaking Bad? Oh, you should watch it. Oh, it's so good. It's but that's super generic. I feel like tons of people, hated Game of Thrones or hate whatever the popular thing is. Oh, you know what my current one is? Guardians of the Galaxy. I think we talked about this, or I talked about this previously. I mentioned it because it came up on the subreddit a little bit. Because Guardians 3 came out and I talked a bunch of shit, even though I didn't see it. I still haven't seen it. I just don't care for it. I gotta be honest. I'm not a huge Marvel hater. I like some of the Marvel movies, especially the Phase 1, Phase 2 stuff. But Guardians of the Galaxy just pisses me off. And I think it's Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I think Chris Pratt's really funny on Parks and Rec. And I think he's very funny sometimes, but also his smugness and him just being himself does that to me. I'm kind of a closet Chris Pratt hater for no apparent reason. Unless I'm unaware, I don't think he's done anything, horrendous or horrific where it's oh, he's actually a bad person. He seems fine. He's funny in the right context.
He got a divorce, which I think in the eyes of Jesus is bad.
Wow. All right, I'm not gonna see it. I'm not gonna approach that.
Well, in that case,
no. I mean, not that I know of.
But I still haven't seen the Mario movie either, because Chris Pratt is Mario, and
that was fun. That was a fun movie.
I don't want to see Chris Pratt movie.
Oh, I forgot. My bad.
Guardians 3. Ugh.
I got that way with Jack Black for a while. When Jack Black started being in everything, I was like, oh, another Jack Black thing. And I always enjoyed his stuff, but whenever I saw it, I just got tired of seeing his name in things for a while, and I was like, oh. God, okay, yeah. He's in a band. He's got this movie. He's got this other movie. Just go away.
2 movies in a band. Unbelievable. This guy's everywhere.
I don't know why do we why are we inclined to feel that way?
I don't know. Because I never had that for Jack Black. I've always loved Tenacious D, and I don't like all his movies necessarily, but I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do too. Whenever I see it, it's just like just hearing his name for a while just like infuriated me. It was just like, oh god.
I'm trying to. I get what you're saying. I guess Mark is where I'm coming
Yeah.
from, but I'm
You
trying
do?
to think of a more specific. Because the thing about yours that's not like, oh, it's some celebrity or whatever. It's a stranger.
It's a moon.
It's a person who might not even be a real person. It's a username. I'm trying to think. I know that I've probably have had this exact thing that you're describing happen because I'm a more angry person than you are. Like I'm kind of a dick. I mean, I'm the nice one of this group, but
No, yeah.
but also like I'm a spiteful person, and I'm not afraid to just be contrarian for no reason whatsoever. But I can't think of anything like this, and I'm shocked at myself.
Is it weird? I have like an opposite experience too.
You just love someone for posting shit on the internet?
I'm not gonna shout out this name, but I used to spend a lot more time on social media than I do now. This had to have been 10 years ago, 9 years ago. There was someone who tweeted at me 3 times a day, every day for like 2 years. And the first message of the day was usually like, hey, love what you, Mark, and Bob do. Would love to collaborate with you sometime. The second tweet of the day was always calling me a fucking entitled asshole and the worst piece of shit in the world, and I was never going out of my way to help anyone other than myself, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that was me.
And then the third tweet was always apologizing for the second tweet and like kind of going back to like, love what you do, would love to do something sometime.
That's Mark's alt.
Yeah, that's my alt account.
I never interacted, but I looked forward to those posts. I don't know why, but like it was almost like my morning coffee. I don't drink coffee, but like I love starting my day with those messages. And then like I was always so excited midday to see if there was a follow-up. And it just made me happy to read those. I don't know if there's something wrong with me, but I just enjoyed the consistency of those messages. And they really filled me with something for no particular reason. Just seeing that username and even knowing that they were going to be a dick to me, it was just like, oh, I missed you. Like I could barely sleep last night because I knew I was going to miss something this morning. So is that the opposite of hating someone for no reason?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's weird. You're weird.
I think that's just liking attention.
You hate a guy posting fucking pictures of the moon, dude.
No, that's an oversimplification of it. He posted pictures of the moon and then declared
that he thinks it's better than the picture he took before?
This is close. It's not exactly the same. This is not a specific person, because I don't follow these people. But there is one person that did this a lot that got kind of big on TikTok for it. I figured out what this is. For me, it's coffee people. Like obsessive coffee culture people. And not like, oh, I went to whatever coffee shop and tried that. Like the people where it's like they roast their own beans. They have their own special grinder. It's a hand grinder because it's the one that has conical teeth instead of cylindrical teeth or something, like whatever. Like the people where they have the whole coffee science lab.
Yeah.
I don't like coffee, but I have nothing against coffee. I get it. People like it. And like, I'll drink coffee if it's the only option and I need some caffeine. And I don't hate these people for like being passionate about it because I'm that way with plenty of stuff. But whenever I see a video where it's like, oh, I got these beans from wherever, roaster at this place, and I try them out, and they do the whole thing because it's the whole process. You grind the beans, and then you spritz them with a little water, and then you got to like put the thing on that spins, and then you got to put the thing on that taps it down. Oh, you got to use a little spider brush. Like there's all these steps. Those videos give me that feeling that you're describing. For no reason, I have nothing against coffee. I'm happy these people love something that much, but watching someone make a cup of coffee for like 8 minutes and talk about if the water needs to be at 243 degrees exactly. And then we want to do we want to soak the beans, but we don't want to brew that. And then we want to drain that water off, but then we want to soak the beans again for exactly 48 seconds. And then you want to, but like that process fills me with rage. And I know it's going to, but I also always watch those videos. And as they go, I'm like, yo, let me guess, you're going to tamp it down now. Oh, and you have the kettle that heats the water to whatever temperature you set. Oh, well, how original. Oh, cool. I get that same feeling. It's not a specific person, but it's those coffee videos.
I have the same thing about coffee, but not for like, I have an espresso machine. I've converted over since I had like an old drip coffee machine or a Keurig even, and I've been like, ooh, this makes better coffee. It does. That's objectively true because it has a high pressure extraction method. it is like, that actually is fine.
Make a video. Bob would love to watch it.
Make sure it's ASMR, okay?
But I don't go any fancier than grind my beans and then extract. That's what I do. I hate the people that are fooling themselves, that are deluding themselves that their fancy long-stemmed kettle and their glass, like,
the espresso glass that has like the air pocket inside.
yeah, with their like, and they put a filter in there. It's just like, you just made a drip coffee machine with more steps, and you're telling me that this is somehow better? We know the espresso machine's better. This, you gotta, what is it? You gotta bloom the grounds for 30 seconds, and then you gotta steep. You can't do the bloom, and then you do 2. Usually you want to do 2 or 3 pours, depending on how much you're making. You want to pour about 250 grams of water for each pour, so you end up with about 480 grams total, including the water you poured to bloom it. Yeah. So I get the same thing, and I don't understand it, and maybe I'm dumb, but it's to the point where it's so pretentious. That's what the core of all this is. It's pretentiousness. It's your goddamn pretentiousness.
Which I'm not even opposed to, because I'll sit and watch food, like cooking videos, and I'll watch, like, there's a series on TikTok where this guy is cooking his way through the French Laundry cookbook, which is, the French Laundry is like a 2 or 3 Michelin star restaurant in Napa Valley. It's like a world class, like, people know that restaurant and they know the chef who's founded it and stuff, and like, it's a thing. And this guy will be like, yeah, well, I couldn't find, the French Laundry gets their cultured butter from this one creamery in the south of France, but they buy all of it. And so you can't get that. So I got this other cultured butter. It's $28 a quarter pound. And it's not the same, but you know, this is what I have to work with. I'll watch that and be like, cool, neat. But I don't know why coffee snobbery gets to me, because I'm not at all like an unpretentious person. I love fancy shit. I'm an idiot, but I love fancy things, just not coffee.
Is this just like the hater's guide to pettiness? Is that this episode?
Yes, it is. But as if you don't hate anything. Come on,
Oh,
Wade.
I do. Every time Bob mentions TikTok, I get angry because I'm like, oh, fucking TikTok. For no reason. You know, when Vine was out, I felt the same way. And then Vine died, and I go back and I watch Vine compilations. I'm like, dude, I love these. And when TikTok probably dies, I'll probably go back and watch TikTok. I'm like, dude, TikTok was so good. But like now, when everyone talks about it all the time, it's like, oh God, just fucking talk about something else. Can we talk about YouTube Shorts or something else? Just anything, not TikTok.
Oh, that's the future, baby. YouTube Shorts is what's up.
See, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, that is what we're talking about.
That's fair. That's okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We know you're like that with social media. That's fair.
With like shows and stuff, same thing, Bob. Like with Breaking Bad, but whenever people like hype up a show, like Game of Thrones, I still haven't seen it. It's like, Game of Thrones is like, God, just end the show. And then like it ended horribly, and I was like, that sucks. But also,
how would you even know? How would you even know it? What if it had the greatest ending of all time?
Because you can't avoid hearing people talk about it.
Maybe true Game of Thrones fans, throners as we call ourselves, just said that to scare everyone else from watching the series so that we can have all the thrones for ourselves.
Well, based on the vitriol I see, it feels more real than that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But what are you going to do?
Watch House of the Dragon, which I haven't.
I struggled to enjoy that, but I think we watched the first season. Is there another season yet or not?
No, I don't think there's another season yet. I think it's just the one.
I don't know why we hate things that other people like. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's the thing too, is I feel like people will hop on that because it's like satisfying somehow. But what does that satisfy? Because it doesn't make me feel good. Even talking about I don't ever leave comments or interact like on the coffee videos, for example.
No, I never.
It's not like I go and I'm like, you suck. Your stupid glass, it doesn't do anything. Like I just watch it and I'm like, and I scroll. But like, what is that satisfies that like distaste? Why do you hate Moon Picture Person so much?
No, don't get me wrong. I don't hate Moon Picture Person.
What is that anger seeking to validate in you or something? Like, where does that come from?
It's also like not a thing where it's like I want to do better than them, because I don't want to take a picture of the moon.
You can't. You'll never be as good as Moon Person.
Yeah, no, that photographer person, their pictures are outrageous. They're fantastic.
That's the thing. I'm not questioning the skill in any way.
So you don't hate them. You don't hate their pictures.
Yes. I acknowledge that there's a passion there and that there's a skill of execution. They're trying to innovate on these things. And usually 9 times out of 10, I'm like, to each their own. But in this one specific case,
Why?
I don't know.
Solve it.
Well, how? Help me solve it.
Well, that's what I'm asking. I'm trying to psychoanalyze you, Mark.
I just say if we took some bats and we found their telescope and it was right there in front of us, we just wong, 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 wong. Or maybe their router. Maybe the internet router is really the problem. I don't want them to stop taking pictures. I just want them to stop posting about it.
Stop sharing your passion, asshole. I don't go to r/moon to see the moon, you piece of shit.
I didn't go to r/moon anyway. I didn't do that. Not my fault. It's all on
It's clearly a them problem, not a you problem.
All right, I'm not. I could Google this, but I don't even know what to type in. I'm earnestly curious. What is that about people? Because like,
Why do we hate popular things?
like I was saying, it doesn't make me feel good about myself or something. It doesn't make me feel superior. My anger doesn't do anything good for me. But then why does that come up? It comes from somewhere. Is it some kind of jealousy? Am I like just insulted that this person knows so much and is so good at something, and I'm like, I could do that if I wanted to.
I think for some people it does, but this one it doesn't, because you're not jealous of the coffee people, right?
Not really. I mean, I don't. Yeah, the best cup of coffee, unless I just can't even imagine what it might be like. The best cup of coffee, probably it doesn't do that much for me compared to Starbucks or something. I don't know.
Here's a couple of possible explanations, see if any of these apply. Because popular things have a tendency of becoming incredibly obnoxious through overexposure, because we see it too much, hear it too much, and we just get tired of hearing about it. Or because people want to be seen as being different, cool, or having a mind of their own and not being a part of the masses.
Yeah, Mark, everybody liked the moon pictures and you just wanted to stand out.
Right, yeah. I'm the space guy or something like that. I just wanted to be better.
That first one, absolutely, though, that's like why people don't like Game of Thrones and stuff, and why I didn't like Breaking Bad, right? Like everyone was talking about it, so I was like, I'm cooler than that, cooler than you.
People like to think that their tastes are more refined and less common than the mainstream.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am that guy sometimes, but again, that's about the TV shows. Why do I hate the coffee? Why does Mark hate the moon?
I don't hate the moon!
That's a good question. Why does Mark hate the moon?
Mark hates the moon and anything that's extraterrestrial.
No,
Mark
that's
hates
not
gravity, dark matter.
No. I adore the moon, and I think the moon has more mysteries than we would ever understand. That doesn't mean we need more pictures of them.
Ever think about Pluto, moon lover?
What about Pluto?
Kudos to it. Ha 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 ha.
I'm not gonna do that.
Ha
I'm deducting points actively.
Kudos to that exoplanet. Is that what it is? Is it an exoplanet? Protoplanet?
It's a dwarf planet.
Dwarf planet. Whatever. You know what I will say? Maybe I'm just going to draw a general conclusion about myself. As I'm getting older, we're getting older, reference.
New episode title.
I'm definitely getting angrier. Are you guys finding this in yourselves? I used to not give a shit about anything. Nothing would get to me. I would be chill pretty much all the time. But now, like, if I'm driving the car and someone cuts me off in traffic, like 10 years ago, I would have been like, whoa. But now I'll be like, fuck you, dick. Like, I get, like, angry. Is that because I'm old, or is that because I'm embittered? Is something happening to me?
Well, you're younger than us, and I don't feel that way.
Yeah, you youngin' over there. You youth.
I'm ragey, like, on stream and stuff, but it's like a fun ragey. It's not like I'm actually pissed off. But, like, outside of that, I feel like when driving other things, like, I don't drive all that much, but I feel like I've chilled out more, actually. I feel like I'm more mellow than I used to be.
Yeah, I've chilled out quite a bit. I'm very mellow.
Except for moon pictures.
What?
Did you see Bob's head just go like that? Like, his camera just totally did like the horror movie. Oh my god! Do you see that, Mark? Is it just
No,
me?
I'm not seeing anything. Are you all right?
It's like speeding up. Your camera's like speeding up and making you like go through motions.
I'm going to say that's on your end, bud.
Dude, I want to record this. It's like a horror movie. My connection to you must not be good. Sorry, was the question? I was intentionally distracting, but now I'm concerned.
So what you're saying is I'm just an angry old dick.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
So I guess that's just all we'll ever be, is just angry bastards who hate things for no reason.
Like the moon.
I don't hate the moon.
And our stupid oceans.
Will, it's probably a good episode title. Why does Mark hate the moon?
No.
No, it's not a question, Wade. The episode is called Mark Hates the Moon Now.
Look, I hate that that's a good title, and I'm debating not having it that. But okay, I want a little more hate. If we're gonna get it, it can't just be all about me. The reason I brought up the moon thing is because I know it's dumb that I hate this thing.
I gave you coffee. I went there. I feel like Wade's the one who's holding out here.
I gave you TikTok.
Nope.
That's
Don't
not
count.
that's too mainstream.
No, it's got to be very specific of something that's.
Coffee is not as weirdly niche as Mark's, but coffee is like, there's not a huge group of people out there hating on coffee culture. I don't think. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm part of a bigger group than I think. But there must be something. Is there a specific type of mobile game that you hate? Is there a specific type of
You, the guy who randomly hates video game characters for strange reasons because they looked at you wrong one time.
It's true.
I'm struggling here, man. What do I hate?
Think about, that feeling where it feels like there's like a hot ball of lead in your stomach, like it just sunk down and you feel like tingly and angry and it's like building up. What makes you feel like that?
Things that make everyone feel like, whenever I see like stupid comments or I see someone like passionately defending a stupid opinion, that kind of shit.
You get seriously, no, but see, that's the thing. Those are like real things.
I know.
You're supposed to learn to ignore those because
I feel that. Well, I don't know if I feel that way for something fake.
Like this, I'm talking about the kind of senseless anger where even when you're angry, you're like, why am I angry? But I am, so I'm going to be angry about it. You must feel it.
I don't get that often. Okay, let me be fair here. My life growing up, and even some aspects of my family life now, have enough moments where I legitimately have reasons to feel that way, that in my free time, I typically don't. Like, there's stupid petty things, like, sometimes I'll go to look for a video, and like, I'll see some of the more popular videos, and I'm like, fuck that person. They've got already like 100,000 views. Let me find someone with less views. I'll watch their video on it for no reason. Like sometimes I'll intentionally avoid the more popular video to go watch the underdogs.
This saint over here.
Yeah, because they're already popular. Fuck their popularity. I'm gonna go watch someone else. I hate popular things. Watch Distractible.
Implies that we're popular.
We're like top 30. I don't know, but just like something specific outside of what I've already named. When I hear people talk about popular shows, Breaking Bad, stuff like that, sure. I guess popular music, whenever someone's like, dude, have you heard this new song by new artist? And it's like, Blink-182's right there. Have you guys ever heard of Queen? Go listen to Queen. Why are you listening to fucking What's-Her-Face and just made a song yesterday? Queen exists. Montreal 1981. You ever seen Somebody to Love? No, you can see it on YouTube. It's Queen. They're good. One of the best performances ever live. Sounds great. Oh, auto-tune? Fuck auto-tune. Go watch Metallica. Woo. Like, I don't know. I have weird things like that.
The get off my lawn take of the music world.
But like, I don't outwardly ever express, just internally I see like a new popular song and I was like, oh good, another one to try to compete with real music.
Oh yeah, I was gonna take my hate of Moon Man to my grave, but I decided to air it on live here, which is why like I know there's some deep seed, like you don't like Santa or something like that. I just gotta feel it, or like you don't like kids who believe in the tooth fairy or something like that. You gotta have something. You gotta have some. You believe kids shouldn't have school lunches, something like that.
Why do you think I hate kids?
I don't know. I just believe this hair's hating that heart.
What's that, 9-year-old? You don't have any food? Well, have you ever heard the saying, there's no such thing as a free lunch?
I'm not even that bothered by like babies on planes and stuff. Like kids and babies typically don't bother me too much.
All right, no, Mark, you know what this episode actually secretly discovered?
What?
Wade is saint, Mark hates moon. Those are the conclusions that we can draw. Wade doesn't have an evil thought in his body. He's never thought a mean thing about another person for any reason.
Is this thing on? Hello? You guys ever hear me?
I'm with Mark. I'm in Mark's camp. I don't believe that you don't have any weird things like this. I think you might not be thinking of them, or you're too ashamed to say it.
I don't watch or look at things outside my lane very often. Like I kind of am very boringly always watching and looking at the same kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but you live in a world where stuff happens that's outside your control sometimes. You go outside. I know you do that. Things happen that you might not. All right. Maybe he's just not thinking of it, Mark. Maybe we didn't explain it very well.
What about like, do you hate Shakira's husband or something like that?
No.
Damn. I hate Shakira. Do you hate me?
No, that's fine. More for me.
I love tacos. How do you feel about me?
I mean, people that shit on me for not liking tacos, fuck them.
Fuck you for not liking tacos, you idiot.
You know, honestly, I agree with you. I wish I liked tacos. My life, you know how different my life might have been? I might have been Markiplier level if I'd liked tacos. That stunted my career.
Maybe it caused a nutritional deficiency, and
That's why I'm twice your height. Yeah.
that's not true. Yeah. Apparently, did I ever tell you my mom admitted that she never fed me as a baby?
No, what?
What do you mean never fed you? What'd you have, an IV drip?
That's what she just said. Literally, that's what she said. I know that's not the whole truth, but she just told it like, I never fed you as a kid. Like, what?
What, she just let you fend for yourself?
I have no idea. I don't know at all.
She'd be eating cereal, and if like a Cheerio fell on the floor, she's like, Mark can have that.
You would lure kids into the woods and then have them barbecue?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. That's what my childhood was all about. Survival.
That's pretty badass, man.
So, Brett, let me know. What do I hate? I'm sure if you guys come to my streams, I'm sure I've bitched about something irrational. Tell me. I've forgotten. Now I want to know.
Now you want to know.
I need to know what I irrationally hate. Like,
If you call up Molly right now and ask her, she would tell you all the
I'll
things
text
that you
her. I'll
you
text
hate.
her and see.
Yeah, I bet.
Wade's just better than us, Mark. There's nothing else to it.
He is. He's more accepting, more forgiving, more understanding.
All right, let's see if she gets back to me.
Probably not.
Probably not.
She's gonna leave you on red.
That hurts when people do that.
Do you hate people that leave you on red?
No, because I can't, because I do it to people more often than they do it to me. I check messages and I'm like, I'll get to you later. I do that all the time.
I'm glad that they made it so you can mark stuff as unread in iMessage, because if I ever accidentally open a text that I'm intending to respond to and don't do that, it's gone. It's gone forever.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, that's true.
It's marked as read. It moves down the list, never to be seen again or responded to for any reason.
I do the horrible thing where I go like, oh, what's this weird blue dot next to my message? Click on it just to get rid of it. I don't like seeing those dots there. Oh, there's notifications. I gotta get rid of all those. All right, done.
The worst thing for me is I'll do that to someone, like someone I work with or whatever, who I don't talk to very much. And then like weeks later, I'll be like, oh, I need, let me message that. And I'll pull it up. And the last message is them being like, hey, so can you confirm, are we tomorrow at 10? Are we doing that? Never responded. And then I have to be like, hey, so can you help me out? And the people who are professionals are always like, yeah, hey man, I can do that. And I'm always kind of like, this is going to end the same way it did last time, just to prepare you mentally. Sorry, I am the way I am.
The best thing she's given me so far, a lot of these are rational things like, oh, when garage doors don't open. Tacos was one of her answers. I'll read you the sentence and then I'll explain. The sentence goes, when Jesse Cox doesn't talk to horny chick.
Okay.
We're watching him play through Final Fantasy 16. And spoilers, I guess, very minor, but spoilers. There's an NPC who, like, as the main story progresses, she updates who she has an obsession with and who she has a crush on, like, in the camp you're in or whatever. And there was, like, a period of, like, 5 episodes where he went back to the main hub and just wouldn't go talk to this NPC. Never contributed anything other than just like a random one-off sentence about who she had a crush on. But like for 5 episodes, he didn't go back to talk to her. And Molly didn't even think about it. But for me, it ate at me. It drove me fucking insane. It was like, what if she likes somebody else? Why don't you go talk to her and find out? You're walking right by, just go up the fucking stairs and talk to her. Horny chick, Final Fantasy 16 not being talked to. Jesse Cox, please keep talking to her.
Does this character have a name?
Yeah, is there
No.
a name?
As far as I know, she does not.
All right, I'm gonna go on Google. I'm gonna risk it all. Final Fantasy 16 horny character.
Oh Lord, yeah.
This is gonna be successful. All right, here we go. Is it Anor Cockburn?
She's just some random lady on top of a staircase.
Is it Anor Cockburn?
I don't know. You should probably Google that, Wade, see what comes up.
Anor Cockburn. It's a Final Fantasy 14 character. Wait, are you thinking of the right game?
No, this is 16, and it's literally just a lady who has like maybe 10 lines, and they're all just like, I don't love X, 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 and X anymore. I now love Y. That's like all she says.
God, you would be so into soap operas. Are you into soap operas?
No, so I had to watch them growing up because
Why was that such a slow answer? What happened?
I was reading Molly's responses.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know what this constitutes. I've called it OCD in the past. I'm not sure it quite is. Whenever I see like a brick wall, I have to count the amount of bricks that are like how many levels of bricks and stuff there are. I also like when things don't look good, like whenever the sheets are uneven on either side, or like the comforter's not even on either side, like I have to fix it.
What is this? Pet peeves part 2? No.
Well, she's just like giving me examples that are kind of like not quite what I'm looking for.
Don't blame Molly for your shortcomings. Calm down.
You guys had me text her.
You don't even understand your own self.
I think I'm just not that hateful, I guess. I don't know.
You heard it here. All right, I guess that's the final determinant.
I get angry at dumb shit, but like it doesn't get to me like to that point. It's more like than like actual anger.
All right. Well,
Wade's better than all of us.
He's better than all of us.
I rage on here more than like what have I gotten really ragey about on the podcast?
Nah, it's too late, man. We're not gonna help you here. If you can't help yourself, we're not gonna help you.
Help me be more awful.
No, you are. I know. You know, to you.
Don't flip this on me, fucking moon hater.
No, you've somehow convinced the subreddit that you're just like this. You're this shining beacon of hope that everyone should aspire to. But in reality, we know how ink black your heart is, right? We know how tainted your soul has become over the years, and we know the lies you have weaved.
Go on.
The subreddit senselessly defending Wade is Bob is the nice one of the group of our Distractible era. It makes no sense whatsoever. I'm not saying that I deserve the subreddit's support either. I'm saying they should dislike and distrust all three of us pretty equally.
Pretty equally, yeah. Like, we have done our part to show them who we really are, but Wade, why don't you show them who you really are?
Dude, I just leak greatness and I can't help it.
You won't even reveal his inner truths.
Like, I don't have main character syndrome. I'm just the main character.
You can't have the syndrome if you actually are the one main character.
Exactly. And I can't help that. Just because the subreddit realizes that is not my fault. You guys are just hateful. I'm the moon to you, I guess, Mark.
No, it's not the moon!
You are very moon-esque.
I'm very moon-esque.
When your studio lights reflect off your head and when the giant brain affects the tides, you're very moony. You're moonish. Yeah. And Mark hates the moon.
Yeah, I hate the moon. Anyway, I'm ending this here. Bob wins. He was more hateful. You don't get to actually exert your hate on us, because I know, Wade, you would have turned it right around and showed who you really were, and I'm not going to give you that opportunity. I'm not going to give you an opportunity to besmirch the good name that is our bad names.
My bad, guys. I'll do worse next time.
Yeah, you better. Bob, you win. Congratulations. You're the most horrible of all of us. You're a terrible human being. You hate for no reason, and I love that.
I just want to say, Mark is dead on. I'm full of rage and anger towards almost anyone. Don't get near me or it might spill over onto you, but at least I don't hate the moon. Wade, loser speech?
Loser speech.
I'm perfectly content. I'm going to go listen to Shakira and play some Starfield. Thanks for having me.
All right,
then. Well, whatever. Anyway, you guys watching at home, I'm sure there's something that is a pet peeve. But if you post on the subreddit, it can't be about us. It can't be us that bothers you in any particular way. You can't come at us with your hateful opinions. It's got to be a coordinated effort of all agreement of equal support for every one of us. You can't favoritism one. That's not cool. Okay, all right. Check out the merch, store.distractablepodcast.com. Check out Bob and Wade wherever they are. They're on the internet. You can look up Mark Friend Bob or apparently Wade Friend Bob. That also works. Or Bob Friend Wade. You can find all of us that way. So thank you. And that's it. I hate you. Podcast out.